Benfica, com milhares de... maio de 2010, no Dragão, frente ao Futebol do Porto, foi o último jogo da Angel Di Maria do Benfica. Hoje é um jogo ainda de preparação, de pré-temporada, mas aí temos o argentino campeão do mundo para voltar a vestir temporada. Temos bem, a equipa do Basileia está a começar a conseguir Leia.
Liverpoolani conceding the corner. Disgusting scene of Gangwanda going forward, and he's a threat from the wide area.
Liverpoolani, one of the defensive midfielders, kept track with the game. He didn't leave it to the defenders to do the defending. He was there to be able to help push that ball out. That for me is the compact way that they play.
It's for Dinare, the man that's conceded the corner, taking the short here. The Zambians have got good numbers in that box. Skill out to that far side, needed to keep it moving, and strength as well. In the end, Lesotho with good numbers to slow down the Zambians. Nawanda, out, pressure from the Zambians. That is what is impressive with them at times. They can give you phase upon phase inside the final third without necessarily taking a shot, just stretching you and keeping you working hard on the defensive ends.
Very debatable. It could have been amounted to a shoulder-shoulder. It's a great opportunity to go on what they've been working on in training, but if they can get it over the wall, anything that happens in that 6 box is anybody's.
7 in the box here for the Zambians. Shouts of Chipolo Polo coming from the Zambians out in the stands.
Possibility of a direct to the top corner of the far post. He's just made that wall a little narrower than it was.
Looking.
That top corner. Yeah. In fact, the decision for one of the demos to pull away must have convinced him that now. He might not have been sure earlier, but once there was only 2 on the wall, opened the angle a little bit wider for him.
Kabantu keeping it moving with help from Tunza operating out wide on the left side. We have the likes of Malani on the right side of the defense. Might really not have a tough outing in the semi-final. The right back weighing the 17 on his back against the Malawans. One player from Malawi in particular that gave him Troy Time was in coma. He wears the number 19 jersey, consistently running at the right back as Lokashani now picks up. It's moving with the Sawana. That's a 1-2 here. As the ball is played in towards Seda, just over his head.
Just over his head. At least you can show that you find the man in that box. Just got to make sure that you measure the height of the ball to find him.
This is what has been impressive with Lesotho throughout this campaign. How well they're able to hold on to the ball here. Good number of ball players, so confident in the playing style and ability that they haven't changed it no matter who the opponents, and at times with even 10 on the field they've maintained that passing style with great movement on the ball, great injection of pace in the wide attacking areas as well. Looked an interesting ball, needed to be done. Just a follow-up shot is not on target, he's second on the game. Kambamba, he needs no second invitation to have a crack at goal here.
This is now the story of picking up the second. As a coach, this is the kind of scenarios that you want to see, being able to pick up the same ball. Because sometimes you play off the front, you don't necessarily build up, but when you surround that area with bodies, give yourself a chance to win that second goal and possibly punish.
Yeah, then nothing goes with it. Zambia quick onto the attack then, not for too long, as Alibamba had dropped deep. Now, Seda. Good work in defense. Kapumbu. communication from the Lesotho players then. On to Makepe. Mentioned him a little bit earlier, replacing Banazi here. Makepe wearing the number 3 on his back. Keep an eye on him. Otseka, I beg your pardon, with the number 8 on his back. Enjoying just his second showing of this tournament, having played 134 minutes. It's forward here for Lesotho. They get the header. They get a follow-up chance here and selfish. In the end, it ends here with Lanza comfortably having it in his grasp, but a lovely opportunity over the dead ball, and all starts with a quality ball in towards him.
He was on target with that. And this is, of course, what he provides Lesotho, that presence inside the box. Maybe the ball looping a bit, which doesn't allow him to come up with a header that could pace apart. But Mwanza still had to make a save, a decent one at that.
Important moments these for Sera, leading the goal scoring charts at the COSAFA level for Lesotho. COSAFA Cup, Lesotho winning one is what they did the second in the preparation for this tournament. The strength coming to the forward from Kanguluma.
Zambia, I think there has been won by Zambia. Hardly were they able to even pick up the second ball. So that for me, as you can see, they're always crowding that area where the direction of ball happens to be going.
Well, from a long way out. Did have it covered by the look of it, Francis Mwanza. He's tried that on a few occasions as Makepe, the Lesotho captain.
With the laces. And I can tell you, this is not like an ambitious shot. This is what it does in training. Nobody would have the confidence to strike a ball like that from such a range.
Lasia Makepe plays for LMPS in Lesotho.
He's the Afrikaner.
Yeah. Highest goal scored in the history of COSAFA Cups.
And that, of course, is Badenhurst of Eswatini.
I left that out on purpose. I didn't just jump in there. I wonder why.
I was thinking to myself, do you want to steal the glory from my man?
Nah, I did it before you. Now, building from the back here, Lesotho to Bukulani. He's another that's quite gotten on with business. The deep-lying midfielder. And go unnoticed at times alongside Sawana with the work they put into both the defensive and offensive sides of the game here. Whilst the likes of Tabanto, Sera and Mohashani gone to shine. With the magic, of course, coming from Bereng. Behind those three. Speaking of Bereng, here he is on the ball. Opening 15 gone by here. if you are just joining us, not too much separating these sides.
Second ball for Lesotho. Big statement, immense earlier, and that has been the trend since the beginning of the game. Second ball for Lesotho, both offensively and defensively.
Misplaced pass on that occasion from Lesawana. The nation that finished runners up back in 2000 on the front foot here. Just one in the box here, and it's in there again. That's on target. Not much of a contest in the air. He was all on his own then and did well to direct that towards goal. Easy for Francis Nwanza, but a couple of positives now. They've been able to pick him out with the Tutsi not having much in the way of numbers on a couple of occasions now since the match has started.
Besides his jumping ability, I think it's his runs that maybe has kept the defensive unit of Zambia away from him. He knows when to run forward to meet the ball.
Tell you what, he certainly has given them another dimension in this final, in the way of their attacks. And Coach Noti with a bit of a secret weapon coming into the final against Sishoni that maybe Lesotho didn't have in the other matches.
Gives this one away, Mariano.
Something's happened since around 2016 for Lesotho. That they had the ability to make it back to a final, the quarterfinalists then, semi-finalists the year that followed, third place in 2018, semi-finalists in 2019, yes, finished first round, or with first round exits over the next two COSAFA Cups, but the signs have been there that they have what it takes. Also, you have to consider the fact that Sierra's now on 7 goals, part of this generation still. Following close behind him is Tabanto with 5 goals. In the COSAFA Cup history for Lesotho, 2 top strikers who've had good runs in recent years for Lesotho, both part of the same generation, both chasing the likes of Tiko Bukwani and others who've had great COSAFA Cup appearances in the past. The ring behind them is also a great experience. The leadership of Makepe. The years have been good to Lesotho in building towards this final over the last 5 or so years. Yes, Sarah? Good to raise foot. Very quick to offer his apologies then, Tabanto. Dangerous play.
Yeah. And lucky gets away without a card now. Just dangerous play. Second goal.
So again.
It looks like Zambia is starting a little bit on the back foot. The fact that the sort of picking up most of the second balls because they don't have high numbers to compete for the second ball. And that makes me wonder a little bit because on paper they should be the one offensive. They're the ones that at least have looked the better. But fortunately, but once again, having said that, in all the games they seem to have started very slow. It's only in the second half that they get better. That's why they've been found coming back from a losing position.
Really cool run. Oh, it was a great run. Well spotted here on this near side. As Tabanto was looking for something a little special, releasing. I suspect Bereng would make that run. course, that most famous of war cries from a social point of view. As I started out in the stands, Kuragamo. Here's a war cry when you translate it, William Shaw. Block that side, block that side.
Tibagamo.
Yeah, Tibagamo block that side. Tibagamo block that side. And for sake of not being disrespectful, they go to say we are killing the enemy, but the word they use is not enemy. So no offense to any Sotho-speaking people, the reason I'm not using the original word is I just don't want to be disrespectful.
Good.
So leave it at enemy, but we're killing the enemy.
Blanks at the moment. Polo Polo are firing.
Nice. Certainly found the rhythm, and they are looking to push it on to the Zambians here and have their way with them. Lesotho consistently moving it this way and that. Fansera now. Over the last 5 or so, it's safe to say we are playing Lesotho ball here, where the Zambians are reacting to it, but it's Lesotho that are certainly having their way. Nifty touches all coming to good effect. Lesotho holding on to it through the likes of Lesoana and the Bukolani again. Magebe just kept alive on this near side. Well anticipated now. Sera on the move, close to watch defensively. Lesotho looking to get numbers in that box, but Sera being able to get try and play it across, didn't quite measure it right, it miscued.
Seemed to trip just before making contact with the ball. He knows it. The thing is about him, you can manage him for the longest, and at some stage he will sneak away from you. And the other advantage that he has is he's probably the most efficient player in front of goal. Doesn't mean it's too many.
One of those that you've seen play, and the first time I saw him play was at the COSAFA Cup some years ago, where he leaves an impression on you. The years after that, when you do see him, you will remember. And the one thing he's always done is score goals, as you do say. And they are good rates, good build-up here from the Zambians as they work it wide. Lesotho well set defensively, superbly set defensively. To a point where, as they win it back, the fans show love and appreciation of the hard work they're putting into the game here. This one venue, and even when it's PSL football, you have to love coming to. The community certainly does respond, does get involved. The COSAFA Cup is certainly proof of it. Now, Zambia looking to find an opening here. Not really the first time about it, so this tackle is here to try and keep Lesotho on the back foot. Kapamba. Early delivery. Awkward bounce is the reason why the corner will go the way of Zambians. Zasatunza, the man who had a difficult time dealing with the bounce there.
This is after a long time that Zambian hasn't had much progress into that attacking third.
Here's the Azesco man. numbers to try and pick out here. Especially towards that far post. The ball kept the sort of defense honest. Early ball then. Better awareness. Would have maybe caused for a flick on towards this near side rather than the far. By awareness, I mean situational awareness.
Understand you exactly.
Could be a card here. Zambian players are far from happy with the challenge from Alebogolani. Showing their displeasure as well here. So the referee's got some work to do in calming things down here. Neither set of players looking to be intimidated, so everybody's standing their ground. Ooh, nasty challenge.
Yeah.
That's showing very much deserving of a yellow card challenge from Alebogolani. The Dinariman playing his fourth match of these championships. Problems here. It doesn't look good. I dare say the body language from a player that's been crucial to the Zambian cause. Kangwanda. Bamba giving some fresh instructions. Crucial, of course, on the creative end for the Zambian cause is Kambamba. They'll be hoping the top goal scorer will be able to shrug this off and continue with the game. Last thing they want is to lose him at the midway point of the first half.
I think the indication from the medical doctor has indicated that he's fine, he can continue.
So, maybe it's safe to say the Celtic fan will be behind the Lesotho here. Lesotho and Bloom being in such close proximity, of course being from the Free State as well. There's so many in the Free State that originate from Lesotho or are Lesotho.
This is probably one of the reasons why Botha is here.
Ah. Good point. Good sign is that Kangwanda will walk off the field, yeah?
For further treatment.
Maybe not.
What he doesn't know is he still has to walk out. I don't know if the man in the middle has spotted that. When you get treated in the field of play, even if you're fine, you still have to walk out and come back.
I think he's gotten away with it.
Yeah.
Good spirit between the two here. Great spirit between the two. That's nice to see. That settled all the pushing and shoving we saw earlier. So there you have it, Porter amongst those out in the stands. Kamplum. There'll be a lot more that maybe are Lesotho, but or lived in Lesotho, but came from areas, different parts of South Africa, and come to South Africa to work and such. Now, that's to set up here until that first touch, so the Zambians lose it. So, pushing the half-hour mark. Still, very little separating Zambia and Lesotho. Frustration here for Kabumbu, picking up the yellow card. So, deep line midfielders are the latest to pick up yellow cards here. Bogolani from a Lesotho point of view. Kabumbu now from a Zambian point of view. Keep in mind that these nations have met on 5 occasions, William Chonga. Lesotho has won once before against the Zambians. There's been 1 draw. Three wins for the Zambians over Lesotho. On 5 occasions, Lesotho has scored against the Zambians. The Zambians have scored on 8 occasions against Lesotho. Lesotho with better moments in the way of shots on target here. Zambians pushing forward, looking to change that. They're in. He had to win it back for Lesotho. Well, he is thick enough to stay away from the men marking him, but his passing then left a lot to be desired. He's played Lesotho into a bit of a spot of bother, so his teammates are able to deal with the danger.
Yeah, Moran actually as well. Down the line. Second ball.
Lesotho.
It's been the trend since been over this.
Last meeting between these two sides. Back in 2021 in Quebec.
And we don't know, of course, that's a plan. We'll sit back and just watch from a distance, and at the right time we'll pop forward, see what we can do. Let them have ball position with a ball position team.
The last meeting between these two sides, Sean, in Quebec could be crucial to the tactics being used today in Sera, starting here for the first time in this tournament as we look back at this foul against the Zambians. I say that because Lesotho walked away 2-1 winners. Guess who scored a brace?
Sera.
Yep.
I remember that game. Trying to think of the name of the coach. From Orlando Pirates coach. I've coached Uganda so many times. Micho, yes.
Fedorovic.
And he didn't last after that because he also got beat by Eswatini, which I guess for Zambia was the last throw.
Just from the training grounds, and should have had a much better ending than it caught the Zambians unaware to the movement on this near side from Rasitunza. Yes, we wish he had done much better with his decision making or the intention to have a shot if that was true. He was having a shot.
I think he was having a shot, and all he needed to do is fire it across the face of goal, a little to the far side. You always have a chance because you know for sure the goalkeeper is covering the nearer.
Rashadi set up to hold it up. The guilty party on that occasion. Plays for Jungle Rangers Football Club. That's the man with the 21 on his back. Combined well, the two in the heart of midfield for Lesotho. Sawana. As well as Libugulani. Now, space on the far side here. As the Zambians could also use this near side. As that's the best option. One of the men that's on form from the goal scoring point of view, but far from finding that form so far. Is Uganda.
Maybe taking the foot off the pedal was his problem. He seems to slow down. Whether he was looking for runners, but I was thinking he's open. There's no defender in front of him. More likely maybe challenge the space. See who commits.
Another card, this time for Sera. Welcomed by the Zambian fans. And he is looking to give as good as he's getting. Is Ntibansera betting on that occasion against Kangoluma. Interesting battles that have gone on out in that field. There's certainly one. It's got my attention. Nakepe up against Libamba. Foul this time against the Lesotho captain. I do believe he may have gotten under the skin of Libamba. On a few occasions he's shown frustration following some contact between he and the defender. Kambamba need a better quality, much better quality. There's Johns, important touch, superb touch, and that header may have steered it beyond where around it, but for Lubakulani's touch towards that far post. On the far post, good for a handball or possible foul. Again, he's looking at frustrating figure is Libamba. Has been the case on a few occasions now. Mentioned it a few minutes ago that it looks as though they've gotten under his skin if his body language is anything to go by. It certainly seems to be the case. Kambamba. Tabanzo lost out, doing this so kindly here for Lesotho. And having to think fast. So there'll be a minute added on to the end of this first half. Great crowd has turned out. And they await an opener. Tough first half, very little separating Lesotho and Zambia. Lesotho, I won't be surprised to find out, may have enjoyed the bulk in the way of ball possession. They've had moments as well, but not too many in and around that box on the front foot. Same can be said for the Zambians, who've had possibly the much lesser of the ball, but they've had moments as well, not too many. It's been tough. Very tactical game, this. There you have it. First 45 minutes gone by here. No separating Lesotho and Zambia in the first half. Yeah, they'll both look to come out and improve the count of themselves in the second half. Go-to players have been kept quiet. The likes of Kangwanda and Mashata, as well as Kambamba on one side, and the likes of Tabantu and Mokashani and Sera have also been kept quiet. Sera with a couple of headers that have been on target but haven't been too threatening. So, plenty of room for improvement in the front foot in this final. At halftime, it's Lesotho 0, Zambia 0. No goals as yet in the final of the Hollywood-based COSAFA Cup of 2023. Lesotho and Zambia hard at work, cancelling each other out in the first half, where there wasn't much to speak of in the way of highlights or chances at goal. And let's break down the numbers then, shall we? Just 3 attempts on target at large from both these sides in the first half. Lesotho is no surprise. Have more of the ball here. So we look at those numbers and now look at the options and possible changes that could be made in the second half. There are goal scorers on either bench here for Lesotho as well as Zambia. As Lesotho do have two on the bench. One of them is Maka's score as well as the Zambians having Katebe, the man who scored the own goal, keep in mind, on the bench as an option defensively. Way more attacking options available to them, including Andrew Field. So, go down to William Chong and enjoy one of these enjoyable half-time interviews.
Honorable Mkolisi Kaunda, Executive Mayor of eThekwini Municipality, is here with me. Honorable, I'm excited about having you because I finally get opportunity to maybe pick your brain here. I've spoken to so many of your representatives that are obviously holding different positions in the municipality, and all of them have been extremely happy with the progress of the tournament. And I just want to find out from you, obviously, from what you've heard, how do you feel about the progress?
Indeed, it is a vote of confidence to us as a city by COSAFA to always come here and bring these games of this magnitude. And we are happy that we normally showcase our capacity and capabilities as a city. We boast with good facilities, sporting facilities, our hospitality industry, when you talk about hotels, as well as and the proximity of these sporting facilities with all the amenities that people are looking for. So we are proud of our record as a city that our tourism is now bouncing back and people are coming in bigger numbers to visit our city with different events.
Yes, obviously in as far as the tourism industry, but other objectives that maybe you had in mind from the beginning, are those also being achieved?
Yes, indeed. If you talk about the sport development, soccer in particular, our township young boys have been following these games, and they take these games as inspiration because they're supposed to be looking after those who are doing well. So they build their career out of that, and we are also developing teams in this city. As you know that we have Amazulu, Golden Arrows and Royal AM, and we want to have the fourth team in the PSL, and we are looking forward in doing that. That is why we continue to develop our sporting activities, but also investing more investment in terms of the sport development.
If you were to be asked to come on board going forward in the renewal process of this cup, what would be your take?
Indeed, we need to invest more in supporting the young ones, also migrating the school soccer into the main game, because that's how we've been developing people. As you know, that as you are also our goalkeeper and a veteran, you come out of the school soccer. So it is important that we support the development from that level, but also the academy that is also producing our young people in the city. We need to continue to support them. We have our veterans, sport veterans, who are also investing their concerted efforts in developing a sport in our city. So this is a good investment because sports bring people together. It unites people. Also, when you talk about the social ills that are engulfing our city, sports play a very pivotal role in ensuring that you bring people together, and the youth in particular, they do something, because if we do not respond to their plight, then we'll have a future that will not be guaranteed. So it is important.
I see also other nationals are here and they're in full voices in support of their teams, and that must be complementary.
Indeed, as Africa, we need to grow. We need to grow and compete globally. So it's important that we develop, and we have seen new developments. We have seen Malawi coming to play the third role with the South Africa. We have seen Lesotho is now playing final. It shows that the investment that these countries are making in developing soccer is really yielding positive results. These are the teams which have been very far away from the teams that have been playing at that level. But today we are happy that these teams are showing up to the game and ensure that they really develop the youth.
Honorable, it's always a pleasure to hear from you, and all the best going forward.
Thank you. eThekwini is really on the recovery path after all the disasters, but we are happy that the progress that you are making is guarantees that the tourism is bouncing back and the growth of the city is guaranteed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much to William Shangwe as we, look forward to the second half and separating the nations of Zambia and Lesotho in the final. It's Lesotho 0, Zambia 0, as we look forward to the start of the second half in this COSAFA Cup. And while both these nations were hard at work in breaking each other down and cancelling each other out in the first 45 minutes, they'll both be hoping to have an improved showing on the front foot, with lots of the attacking players showing a bit of frustration, none more so than Libamba, the furthest forward for the Zambians, who was rather frustrated in the last 5 minutes of that first half with the physical attention he was receiving from the Lesotho captain, Makepe, who plays in the heart of defense alongside Sega. Moments, well, some of them felt was Seda, the striker for Lesotho, who's looking for his second goal of this tournament. He's eighth to jump ahead of Tiko Bukwani in the overall standings. Chasing, of course, Padnos to the all-time top goal scorer with that 9. Zambia it will be to get the second half underway, attacking the goal to the left of your picture, whilst the men from Lesotho will attack the goal to the right. Early ball forward here. Key players will be looking for improved showings on the creative end. Kampamba closely watched and not maybe enjoying one of the more influential games of the day. Looking to do so now as he stitches it together for Lesotho. One player has been very involved, keeping moving on that far side is Libukulani. Early ball looking for Sena. Took it well. Works hard to get into an attacking position as Lesotho looked to push forward, but he wasn't in an offside position. And to the end of it all was Mutibang Sela. Battle continues between those two. Nibamba and Nakepe. Well, this time is Teka, who's got the upper hand on him. They've shed the responsibility on him, those two, quite impressively throughout this match. Now, early ball. Sarah. Early ball, and yet was the far side, there was the movement, of course, of Tabanchuk, this Mukashan, who was looking for him, well read. All of it was, in the end, by Francis Mwanza. Second appearance for Mwanza, his first appearance in the tournament came in the semi-final. Conceded one in the semi-final, including picking up a yellow card. Plays tough football for Trident FC, does the Zambian stopper. Sera. The best to pass it. Both these sides have at times let themselves down with the quality of their passing. Bering. Kampamba. Those are the two creative spots for these sides. Bering on the side of Lesotho. Kampamba for the Zambians. When they are hot, these sides are doing great on the sharp end. Is Kampamba from range. Comfortable for Morani. Shuffle across. Don't believe it was on target in the end. Would have been missing the mark. That was with the early ball forward then. That's live here on the near side by Mokashani. Yes, say that. Libukulani. That's a Tunta. Beautiful ball. They're in. Malani now, with the ball in, cut numbers in there for Lesotho. Superb work defensively by the Zambians to deal with the danger. Now, Lesotho again. We're going to keep the pressure on here. Seda losing out in the air. Nicely done. Settling it by Libukulani then. Kept moving by the captain, Makepe. Ball out into the far side again. Lesotho with numbers inviting the early cross. Didn't give them a chance of getting onto the end of it. Now the improvisation still won't find Seda. Pressure with the ball across. Yes, Seda! He moves beyond. No, he doesn't. Flag is up offside. He's staying with Tiko Vukwani on 7 goals in COSAFA Cup history.
The most dangerous thing that I feel will play. This person now, let's look at this.
Oh, defender on the far side,
yes,
he's on.
Yes. When the ball was passed or crossed, it pretty much was in line.
Watch the player on the far side and watch the lines then across the box that's cut across the field, and you'll note that he's keeping Seda well on.
That's
not even.
That's how I saw it.
Watch the player on the far side now, the furthest defender on the far side in green. He's on the other side of the line. Seda was on.
No less. You know, sometimes the definition of these offside calls can be complicated. You know, even to the point of maybe your nose ahead of the line counts as long as it is a playing limb, and that could be the only reason. Maybe he's ahead because the upper body of the defender was slanting forward, and Serras was forward on the opposite direction. So it boils down to, you know, the centimeters sometimes, which is what could go anyway. I think I can excuse him from that point of view because we don't have the line to actually draw it, show exactly.
Here's a man that's taken a lot of physical punishment. I've mentioned it a few times now. Libamba, the two have shared the work he's been getting. Makepe and Seka. Boy, by giving him some work, he's gone to ground again. Now, the moment was here, has lifted the spirits of the Lesotho fans here. Damini, well, his colours accidentally will fall in with the Lesotho fans. Say that because they are the green and white distributed in South Africa, who we know the Amazon colours. His family now. You know, after over 50 minutes of the way this game has gone, as a football man, as a football scholar, I do believe Coach Nonti will truly believe in his chances now. If there were any doubts, yes, they'll still be there, the way of respecting Zambia. But as to whether this group of players has the beating of that group of players, you think it's possible.
I understand exactly where you come from. First, you have to look at the chance created against them, against what you created. And that will tell you the story. And I'm sure the possession stats as well will speak a different language.
It's not to add the about.
Yeah. So it's those numbers that sometimes will give you the impression that, you know what, you've got this under control. Not only that, the entries and very constructive in the way that we went into that third. Unlike Zambia, they mostly consisted of long passes to try and find their runner, which is why at the time their striking pairing was isolated from everybody else, which is why that second ball fell for the Lesotho player most of the time.
In the end, it may come down to a moment of brilliance.
Talk about controlling the space.
Movements going forward here. Oh, Simba, only for a moment. Country Simba. Another of the Azesco players, as well as a couple of teammates at club and international level. Then this time it's Makete to get the head of Libamba. 7. So the battle between debatable in many people's eyes in the early stages of the second half. Here he is on the move. Bering. Good awareness. Mahashani. Over left and run then that came from Malani. Well watched defensively by the Zambians. So here's the Lesotho again. Hoping to find some quality from Lebogolani, but that ball way off the mark. So deep line midfielders on a yellow card here. Lebogolani is one of them. Kapum was the other on either side of the field. Very interesting to see how long they last once the game reaches an hour and things begin to get a bit tense, which they always do in games of this nature.
And taking into account these cup finals, that little bit of tension about them.
Yeah.
That game doesn't normally flow like we'd want to for teams that have played that well to get to where they are. So I think that element has kind of frozen the Zambians a little bit. They normally come strong in the second half, but I haven't seen that as yet.
Zambia now looks to get some numbers going forward. The run started with the intention of going central, then as he drifted that wide, that's where the pass went instead of the initial movement. Hasn't been on the same page, the Zambians in the final third, along with the most creative in Kabamba. The ring just couldn't sense enough through that he was closely and well washed by Kumuluma. Kabamba, it's away from 2. Good job. Then with the pass out right to this near side. Kalani combining with Bukashan. Space in the central areas. Bering driving methods again. Right out to the left side as he joins those getting into the box. Ball in. Well defended by Kumuluma.
Corner kick.
Straight to evening with the Alexa of Gangwanda. Well, towards the far post. Good goalkeeping from Francis Mwanta. Now, chance here. Good chance. Good block. Battle continues then between Seda and Ganguluma. The defender. One ups the attacker. They're missing it all together. 1 hour football is come and gone here.
Did Sarah take one touch too many?
Possibly.
If the one touch was good enough to set a little bit forward where he can run and gain that momentum, but it took two because the ball was a little bit too close to feet for him to take a shot.
Zambia, keep in mind, will be looking to win this tournament for the second time in a row. They, Zimbabwe and South Africa up to this point are the only nations to have achieved that in the past. None yet to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, he was fighting for the ball.
Lesotho having reached the semi-finals on 3 tournaments in a row between 2017 and 2022. Gone one step further. Looking to go where no Lesotho side has gone before. That's the crown champions now. Set up for the shot. It was predictable, so blocked with a great anticipation then by Razitunza. So changes being made here. And well, Kangwanda, the top goal scorer, joint top goal scorer in the tournament as they stand, is the man that will make way. Then Kabamba is another man that will make way here. Lesotho will be happy with the work they've put in, William Chogwe. When you look at these substitutions, they have dealt with some of the endangerment to the point where they are leaving the field here. Andrew Pili will come on for Kangwanda. That's a silent pat on the back for Coach Noati, his tactics and the way they've been executed. When you look at those two subs, those are huge names to come off for the Zambians.
Anticipation speed from Lesotho. This obviously comes from freshness, and the freshness that I'm talking about is the freshness of mind. You know, when you are fatigued, you don't think straight. Your actions are delayed, and you come second best in situations. But Lesotho is operated from a very fresh point of view, and decision making, they're always sharper to react, and anticipation. That for me, that comes from not necessarily fitness, but look at how they possess the ball in all the games that they were playing. They weren't playing at 120, so that helps them to save some energy, which helps to keep them fresher. In saying that, I'm not saying they are better off than the Zambians, but I'm just saying, if you look at the way that have gone on since beginning of the tournament, is that their position are playing a ball team, and that has its own effect, positive, as long as you don't lose ball position in the wrong areas. And so far, I think they've been excellent.
Mohashani, the rain.
And also, in Susan Wapena, each and every time they lose ball position, because of their compactness, because they're building up team, there's always players in that area. And if you see how high they press and how quick they're able to force the team to pass back, that for me is that element, because they're very compact. Puts them in a good position to fight for the ball quickly.
Shots on target, 2 for Lesotho, 1 for Zambia, meaning we haven't had a shot on target in the second half. That's how tight things have been. Next turn. Oh, it's done well. And kept it moving. Remember. Now, ball in. Won't find the man in green. Mukashan. See what he was trying to do then, trying to curl it into
Outside,
the pace of Mukashan. He didn't quite put it off, it was too straight. And in the end, dealt with by what's been a very impressive Kanguruma defensively for the Zambians. Here he is. I've enjoyed watching him play today. There he is again.
Now, that clearance is not because they're trying to find somebody up front.
Anyway.
It's because there's pressure, and they can't build with that kind of pressure. So, which is what I think Lesotho has been excellent in creating those kind of scenarios where they don't allow the Zambians to play off the back.
If your footwork, just unable to find the teammate, but if your footwork nonetheless in avoiding the challenge of this near side by Malani. That's a right back with that skill level. Approaching the last 20. Keep it moving is Kabumbu. Ready to go forward, they won't find the teammates. From Shabana. Here's Bereng. Looking at the pace on the far side. The strike as well.
Running in from the center. I'm not sure if it was Bereng who had read the situation, and I think Sarah at the moment is the one that passed the ball. So
Bereng passed it. That was running in the center.
So it means Sarah recovered from the pass and made a detecting run into that center.
Mukashan. Malani on the up and up here on this near side. Decent ball! Off opportunity. Attempt to recover from the right back. Very nice with the ball in his feet. Tabang Malani plays for LCSFC. Fourth appearance, 242 minutes he played ahead of this evening's encounter. Mukashan looking for something special is Bereng. Too close, way too close. Runs. Well, quite proudly, we'd only had 1-0 scoreline coming out of the group stages, coming into the semi-finals. At the end of the day, as far as the normal scoreline, still the third and fourth playoff earlier on today. Game that had no business ending with the normal scoreline with the chances created and the number of chances created by both sides. Between Malawi and South Africa. South Africa going on to win on penalties at the end of 90. Yeah, in the final, keep in mind, we will go to extra time if need be. But we could be at that point in the game where if there is to be a goal, it may very well be a winning goal. Such is the nature of the beast in the game we've had.
And also that it's at a point when possibly both sets of players in that field are getting real tired.
Now, header! That's a chance. That is a real chance for the man who's coming off the bench then, Andrew Piri. He snuck in beautifully at the last second to get goal side of the defender. I suspect because of the lateness of that charge, couldn't get over it. That's it. Boom.
And looking at Zeka, he seemed to be not aware at all. If there's a man tracking him, because if that's the situation, you don't let the ball drop that far low.
Yep.
Chabala in defense. He's been commanding. They appreciated that the Lesotho fans, Rashani under pressure, on his backside, able to go safety first under some difficult circumstances. Cleared by Makeb. Next defended by the Zambians. Lasted for just a moment. Foot touch. Let's do it on the far side. Important challenge defensively then by Rasitunsa. Kabumbu. Better from the Zambian. Yes.
Simba. Early ball. Merani, the LMPS man with the long ball forwards. He as well as the captain Basia Makebe played for the same club. fact, they are the only players from the club in the Lesotho outfits, including those on the bench. Back up. Now, Sarah looking for the chance, taken away from him at the last moment. Just waiting for it to drop then. Better from Alibamba here in the second half in bringing others into it and playing with his back to goal. Much better. They've been able to play around that. Inject a bit of intensity into the game, and the Zambians as they push forward here, and okay, then corner for their efforts, but solid. Man's challenged by Magebe. I don't think Sishoni is entirely happy with it.
It looked like the ball might have ended up with the hand of the defender, but that I think is what he's complaining about.
Right had a bit of a case. You come tougher. Mashata is the man injured here, Golden Mashata. Green Buffaloes man. Oh, third time. St. Durban plays host to the Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup on stage in 2019. And also 2022. Last year they also hosted the Beach Soccer World Cup, which I was proud to be a part of. Shongwe. Always a great place with fans that love the game, that consistently come out. Came off the crossbar quite possibly.
I think the goalkeeper got in touch with it, but he was a little bit too underneath it. Didn't have the leverage to pile it away.
To the post. So no matter what format of the competition, Durban has certainly played its part in getting behind it. The COSAFA Cup, the Women's Champions League, the Beach Soccer Championships, COSAFA region. Header! Power in the header, and it's the big man, Libamba, who's had a much improved second half, who makes a huge difference in Zambia's cause. And that's a goal that can make a huge difference in the history of the COSAFA Cup in Zambia, taking charge as the nation to catch.
What can you say that is different from the Zambia that we've seen throughout the games?
Yeah.
So, they're like the slow poison. You don't feel them when they hit you, but they do it slowly, but eventually they get the better of you. That for me has been the standard throughout. They've come from behind in so many different occasions, and they've gone on to win the game. But this is a header where Lesotho maybe could say they could have done better. And also, this was an outswinger instead of an in. They've been playing more in swingers.
Look at who he beat somewhere. Makafe, who's got up in the air with him and put up a proper battle. Zaga's also not too far off. The two men that have made life horrible for him in the first half, he's come back in the second, Libamba, held it up in much better fashion, played a better game, bringing others into it, and they built upon that in the momentum over the last 10. And then he comes up with that header. Great header.
Great header.
Lohashani makes way. Sipali coming on. That will be a bit of a pat on the back on the side of the Zambians. Say we got rid of another dangerman of Lesotho as we grab the lead with 10 minutes to go. Patwani on.
More creative. Makes sense that he comes in now where they need to really start to be productive with creativity. We've only got about 10 minutes and a bit of additional time.
Zambian fans have found their voice out in that far stand. 10 minutes. And I think time-wasting tactics have begun. There's a pressure of 7 seconds and just themselves.
As it is often said, yes, the more there is delays, they are added into the end of the game. But it's not just trying to wind the clock down, but it's now they know that the Lesotho is going to come with gun blazing to see if they can get an equalizer. But by breaking the game down every now and then, they will break Lesotho's reading as they try to build up.
Well, they've been quiet, that group out on that far side. They've certainly found their voice to great effect. There they are. Not to be outdone by the likes of Lesotho from a supporting point of view, Malawi, South Africa, and others that have been present in this year's COSAFA Cup. They want the bragging rights, the Zambians. Set up, beaten on the near post. Chance here on the counter. Good hard running here by the Zambians. Ashata. Mutale, very involved, is coming on Mutale. Great effect in the second half. He really has. He's wanted the ball. He's hardly shied away from it as the Power Dynamos went. Third appearance in the tournament. He's only had 60 minutes of action in this year's COSAFA Cup. He's come to life, brought the likes of Mashaka to life. Libamba. Inspired changes. Look, the brave man, Coach Shoni, when he had the likes of Kabamba, breaking away as well as Ganganda. Side really responded to the changes he's made. Now, look at real flesh to the Zambians. There's a injection of intensity they've brought of late over the last 15 or so.
More like they finished against Bafana Bafana. They also look better and more threatening towards the end.
Sarah. One target in the box. That's the gun. And trying to find the teammate. The hard work. But those who feel the difference then between Lesotho continuing on the front foot or them dropping back to defensive areas, which is the outcome. This is where the war's been. Whenever these two have come together, it's been a proper war. Foul this time in favor of Magebe. Ooh, elbow. Proper connection.
Yeah,
and I mean that in the most horrible way. He's not just down faking it.
No. And then to think that he had a foul against him. Maybe proximity of the man in the middle is for the reason he didn't pick up the elbows. It happened.
That's the final injection, if ever there was one. Can't really say whether it was intentional or not, but the connection was true. As one would wonder. If it wasn't intentional. Hey, no. Another 5.5 plus whatever will be added on. And even Zimbabwe will be behind them in the stats as the most successful nation in COSAFA Cup history.
Amazing what a goal can do, right?
Goals truly do make the footballing world go round and round. William Songman.
Rejuvenated their look.
Malani. Kutwani. And down, far side, way back in the Lesotho half of the field. He stayed down for a long time now, which has caught the attention of Patrice Minizar, the match referee. Signal towards the bench, just couldn't read it from Moirani. Well, he asked for a second if the stretcher would be needed because the coach Wasitunta is the man struggling. Having been there, seen it all before, not only close to showing it, but Avram Grant as well, the main coach for the Zambia national team. They'll know now how crucial it is for there not to be any defensive lapses.
I can just imagine the kind of value it adds to have your senior coach sitting in the stands. He might not be involved with the day-to-day running of the squad, but the players that know they have a responsibility if they are to be picked up in the near future.
Also, a nice touch for man of Evan Brown stature to be out here supporting the center. Yes, even though you're not the coach of the side, you're with them in the team hotel.
Yeah.
You have made new friends, the likes of William Shongwe and such.
How can you leave an opportunity like that? Oh, the one thing that is missing, my phone is poor. The camera is very poor, so I couldn't take
a picture.
Yeah.
So while it's time off, it's not necessarily time off for Maverick Grant, which is what I mean. It's a great touch for him to be here. It's inspirational for the youngsters looking to get into the qualifiers, both from an AFCON and a World Cup point of view. They'll have a chance to impress as far as Southern Africa is concerned. Qualifiers, a big talking point for the next World Cup. Now, pull in. Ones that chooses not to hold on. Early ball forward here. Zambia able to deal. Oh look, the World Cup qualifiers, Group C, will be a bit of a sore point from a Southern African point of view, with South Africa, Zimbabwe and Lesotho all in Group C of the qualifiers. Angola, Eswatini and Mauritius are in Group D. Zambia in Group E with the likes of Morocco, Congo, Tanzania, as well as Niger and Eritrea. For Lesotho and South Africa, they'll be up against Zimbabwe as well, Benin, Rwanda, and Nigeria in Group C. That's for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The changes are made here. And Chupesi comes on. Libamba, who had a great game and scored that all-important goal, is the man that will make way here. These could very well be the championship-winning goal. Maka on for Rasitunza. They have to throw numbers forward now. Rasitunza, the defender, the man to make way. Maka's first touch. Early ball, Serra. 3 minutes, will be added on to this match. Again, looking at those 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Seychelles will be in Group F against Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, Kenya, Gambia and Burundi, Mozambique and Botswana. In Group G against Algeria, Guinea, Uganda and Somalia. Malawi and Namibia, same group. Group H against Tunisia, Equatorial Guinea, Liberia and Sao Tome and Principe. Comoros in Group I, the likes of Mali, Ghana, Madagascar, Central African Republic and Chad in there as well. So that rounds up Southern Africa's look at the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Fans have started their marches out on that far side from a Zambian point of view. Under 3 minutes remaining, in fact, make it just over 2. And there are those that are marching up and down around the Kings Wellington Stadium field here. Zambia still with the danger. Lesotho continue to throw numbers forward. And just throw the ball forward in the hope that it'll fall for them. Nakepe, the captain, is playing as a striker right now. So plenty of forward, big men as well. Need better balls, however. A minute and a half remains. Zambia could put this to bed. Shots. Then what is a short piece of play from Andrew Piri. Thought he looked for a teammate, but was only bringing it on to his stronger foot. Time running out for Lesotho. Everybody pushing forward now. Two fans now have seen enough and are beginning to make their way towards the exits for Coach Noti. Well, they were brave, they were entertaining, and they came so close. One moment, one lapse, one moment of brilliance really from Libamba. Zambia are the most successful nation in the history of COSAFA Cup football. 7-time winners, with Zimbabwe behind them at 6, South Africa third with 5. Started the tournament off for the loss and have gotten better and better in moving along. Impressed in how they recovered to be the best second place team in their group. Further impressed in the win against South Africa, having to come from behind in the semi-final, and terribly impressive in the game against a tough Lesotho. A tough game it was. to find that moment of brilliance from Lebamba, who showed great character throughout the game, battling against the likes of Makepa and Treka to rise up above both those men and put through a quality header that is the difference between these two nations. Well, changes made the difference. The likes of Joshua Mutale coming in off the bench played a huge part in the change in momentum. Whilst the Zambia, the champions, we take our hats off to Lesotho and the city of eThekwini for a great tournament all around by those that played their parts in the final, including those out of the stands. In the end, it's the Zambians that are 7-time champions of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. They've won the 2023 edition, beating Lesotho by a goal to nil. Not too many highlights in this match. Lesotho and Seda had some moments in the first half. Those up wild and could get the better of Mwanza. That ball well matched by Seda, getting the better on that occasion of Kanguluma. Maybe in moments of their own, that header took a special touch by Libokolani to see it go over when it looked goal bound. And the ball in. Oh, great header. That should have been a goal for the Zambians. They had made the changes, of course, and on the field was Andrew Perry. This is when Zambia started to up the ante, play better football, play with a bit more intensity around the final thirds. Well, really feel he should have done better than in hitting the, or finding the back of the net. Moment of brilliance. How's this for a header? Defenders all around him. He's got 3 defenders he's battling against. Finds the quality in the header. Zalibamba battling with 3 in the air. Amongst them, both Makepe and Sege. And appreciated better.